guys, I'm Molly Sanier and it's Monday night and it's Throwing with Molly. I'm so excited for tonight because I finally got my brother-in-law Rodney. Come on out, Rodney! Yay!
Holla!
Yay! Cheers.
Salute.
Salute! Guys, if y'all know Blair, this is Rodney, her husband, her better half.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome to Monday night.
I'm ready.
So, Rodney's never thrown, right? Have you
Never.
ever thrown?
I helped James at one time make the little dinosaur.
I posted a picture of James's hand-built dinosaur. So Rodney's been in the studio, but today we're throwing, and tell him what you want to make.
I've been drinking, I'm trying to get off mocha, so I'm trying to like cut back on my coffee consumption. So I'm trying to drink like a cortado, smaller 4-ounce glass. So I want to do a gibraltar glass.
Gibraltar glass. I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, but
Like the Rock of Gibraltar.
like the Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah.
That's what we're making tonight. So Rodney's never thrown, so it comes from a cylinder shape. So we're gonna start there. So Rodney, you've got your little bench. You can pull that up. Monday night, guys, Throwing with Molly. This is episode 34, I believe. So this is a bat. So you grab one for you underneath there. And this fits, we have the wider hole. The wider hole fits onto these two screws.
All right.
So you just get one on and then you kind of swing the other one on. Yeah, let's see, this one over here. And then swing that one to fit on there too.
Got
And
you.
this was Speedball Bats. We were talking about sponsors earlier. They sponsored last week's episode. Because watch what happens when we're done. Okay,
All
now in your plastic you have a bunch of
This?
clay. Yes.
Okay.
So in there, just grab a ball of clay. Now the size of the cup that Rodney wants, I'm imagining, is like this big.
It's like
Is it
a
like
4-ounce.
smaller than this?
Smaller, it's like a shot glass.
Like a shot glass. So we don't want this much clay then. So we can use our wire cutter and just cut it. Maybe let's cut off maybe like however big, maybe like this big.
I like how you did that fast like that, you know? Okay. Not all the way down. There we go. Get through there. Get through there.
Yay! So how does it feel to touch clay?
I mean, it's heavier, obviously, than I thought it was. I mean, so this is pretty cool.
Oh, good. So what we're going to do is take your open hand, the palm, and you're going to tap it until it's in a rounded shape. So you're not really squeezing, because sometimes if you squeeze, you put like a form in it.
You can't just do
want to
this?
open tap. You can do that. As long as it's rounded. So I usually treat it like a baseball. Tap it. Okay, then. Guys, I've been wanting to get Rodney on Throwing with Molly for how long? How long have I wanted you on Throwing with Molly?
A year at least.
At least I've been trying to get him, guys.
There's a few people out there that know they should be sitting in this seat before me, but that's fine. I'm here now. I'm representing.
Sally, my mother.
Cheers, everybody out there. Cheers.
Here we go. Rodney's gonna throw his first ever cylinder.
Oh Lord, here we go.
She's there. Okay,
oh
so
Lord.
with dry to dry, if there's any water, it's gonna fly off. So first you put it on there dry. And then you want to like press it on and turn it and press it on. What I'm doing is just kind of making sure it's stuck onto the wheel. And I'm using like this diagonal push to get it into like a little cone so that the top is pointed and the bottom's a little wider.
Well, you did that so easy, but I don't
know,
like...
I've done this before. You're doing great, Rodney. You're doing great.
Is that my little
Perfect.
All right.
All right, so now no hands. Let's get you comfortable with the pedal. So put your foot on that pedal. The whole foot, your heel is going to stop it.
Does it scoot back a little?
Yeah,
okay.
we can get you comfy. Oh, let's see, there we go. Okay, put your whole foot on, your heel's going to stop it and your toe's going to make it go fast.
All right.
Yours is a little sticky, so you want to get like your bearings. So we're going to want like a full pace, we're going to want like a slow, and we're going to want to stop it. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, this is so fun. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one, and you're
all right, I'm just...
With James, we can put it up, and he would just push the pedal. He loved it. All right, so now that it's stuck on there, dry to dry, our next best tool is going to be our sponge that can be loaded up with water. So whenever I need more water, I can just drip it.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're going to cone up and cone down.
Okay.
So I'll do it first. You watch, and then I'll help you. So coning up and down, it just prepares the clay. It gets out air bubbles that might be in there, and it gets a lot smoother. So your left hand is the boss.
All right.
The left elbow is going to be in your left hip socket so that you can reach the clay, but kind of bear against yourself so your arm doesn't wobble around. It's like sturdy in your hip.
So it's like the anchor right here.
It's
Okay.
the anchor. It's the boss hand.
All right.
Okay, then the right hand Because it's not anchored, your elbow's kind of up, it always connects to the anchored hand.
Okay.
Yes. So now you're all stable. Okay, so watch this, and I'm going to help you. Plenty of water, palm is pressing, fingertips are across from the palm, and I'm just going to kind of squeeze at the bottom, and as the clay moves, I'll move my hands up, 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 and it's like rotate, rotate, rotate. So you rotate here, and then you rotate here, and you rotate there, and you rotate, rotate, and then slow release. So you're just kind of squeezing it and making it a little taller.
So a little water.
A little water.
All right.
See if I can do it without even helping him. Here he goes. Rodney's
Lock it in,
first
lock it
coating up.
in, lock it in.
Yes, these fingertips are going to be across from your palm on the clay.
On the clay.
Yep, just the fingertips. Good. Now this hand's the boss. No wobbling elbow. And bring these fingertips back a little bit right here. The fingertips right here are going to be over here.
They made it look so easy.
Yeah.
And what was that movie, Ghost?
Right here. And then rotate, 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 slow, release. Perfect. That was coning up.
Mine looks more like a
We're
beehive
gonna get
than
you
a
there.
cone.
We're gonna
Okay,
get you there.
okay.
We're gonna get you there. The next step is coning down. So what we do is we cone up and we cone down. We cone up and we cone down, and then we can center. So
Okay.
coning down looks like this. I take my right hand and it's gonna kind of karate chop that center,
Okay.
but they always work together.
Okay.
Okay. Left hand's still the boss. It's anchored.
All right.
The right hand's gonna karate chop. Hugs your thumb. Hugs that boss anchored thumb.
All right.
Lots of water. So the palm, this palm is on the clay, but this right hand is going to push down slowly. More water. And then I'm going to drop this karate chop into a little angle. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Slow release. So now it's still a cone, but it's like little. Okay, so this hand's going to hug that thumb.
Hug the thumb.
Yes, hug the thumb. Palm, and then open this hand up like you're doing a prayer. Yep. And then drop this part of your hand. So this hand's high. Yep. And try to reach the bat. This palm's reaching all the way down. This one sinks lower. There we go.
Oh. Oh.
And then slow release. I usually need to come over there and help you. Let me come over there. Oh, look, Chaz. Okay, so let me show you on mine, and then I'm going to come help you. All right, so we're going to cone up. So Rodney just coned up once. We're squeezing, thumbs connected, fingers, palm, and then we cone down. So see, mine looks a little bumpy, but you just keep going. And then it looks smooth. So I'm dropping this hand all the way, anchor, rotate, rotate.
Right.
And then, now we center it. So once we've coned up, we've prepared the clay. And centering it is when you push into this flat. So I'm anchored here, palm, hands are working, rotate, rotate, rotate. So I'm looking for this shape. Okay,
Got it.
then, oh look, Mexico City.
Salud.
We're making a gibraltar glass.
Cortados all day.
Cortados. I don't even know what a
I
cortado is.
like how you put that little accent.
Cortada. So boss hand's still there. Now, to make your glass, you have to make an opening, the bottom, and then pull. So it looks like this. I'm going to support, press in. Now I have an opening. Pull this. So, but now look at the bottom. There's no bottom. It's just that little point.
Right.
So now I make the bottom. Pull my finger towards me. Bottom's opening. This hand's still the boss. And now I have to get the height. But for yours, I have an idea. His glass that he wants has these little textures at the bottom. So I thought, now what we do is we pull. And now that you've watched.
Now what we do is drink. How about
Drink,
that?
yes, drink, drink.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for coming, Rod.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers. So we come up, we come down, we center. Now we're gonna open, or pull. We just open. Now the right hand's the boss. Fingertips are at the bottom. They're together, and I just squeeze and let it rotate. And
You
squeeze,
make it look so easy.
squeeze and let it rotate. Squeeze and let it rotate. And I'm kind of looking like, is that the size of glass I want? And I can smooth this little lip that you're gonna drink out of.
Well, that's definitely bigger than the glass that
Bigger.
I don't know if it's like
So you
this
know-
glass is like literally
Okay.
4.5 ounces.
I have another idea for
But we
this.
can go with that. I
No.
like the mug.
Well, I think I have an idea though. And it's gonna be easier. Get a big ball of clay from in there. So Rodney wants to make something little. When you make something little, it's kind of challenging. So I think what we're gonna do is throw off the hump. So Rodney's never really thrown, so why not just go off the hump? So what we need to do is take that off. This here. Get another one for you.
Well, I'm
Dry
getting dirty.
hands.
I'm drinking.
Dry
I mean,
hands.
this is perfect.
This is so fun.
I'm hanging out.
Yes. Rodney just came over. We had some dinner.
She's a great chef. I think she's a better chef than artist.
I
I'm just
love
saying.
when
I'm
he
just
says
saying.
that. I love
I'm just
it.
saying.
All right, you drink. I'll put some clay on there for you.
I can drink all day. I got this. I can.
Blair is so jealous that you're out and she's not right now.
Hi, Blair. Take care of your kids.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so throwing off the hump is when we work with a larger piece that we want, and then watch what it's gonna look like. And again, I'm gonna help you do one, and then you're gonna do your own. I'm not gonna worry about this whole thing. I'm only gonna like fit my little hand at the top and let it rotate and get kind of centered. And then we can just make a little opening, and then we can just make a little bottom.
See, I just want to do that part. Where's
Yeah.
that? I want to get to that part.
Yes.
That part.
And then is that like big enough?
That's perfect.
Okay, and then once it's perfect, and everything does shrink, so I do think we should make it like slightly bigger than you think it should be.
I mean, it's almost like I said, like a shot glass. I mean, so if that's going to shrink.
You'll have a nice little set of shot glasses.
Well, it's a Gibraltar glass. It's not alcohol. It's coffee.
Espresso.
It's right, espresso.
All right, and then we can kind of remove some of this bottom. And then we just take this little guy off here. And then with dry hands, so when you're touching it, sometimes you need dry hands. You just set it aside. I'll get a little board. And then we can make another one. And then you can just make a couple little ones.
Got you. I'm
Okay.
all for it.
All right, I'm gonna come over here so I can be your helpful boss hand with you. Okay, so first things first, let's get some water.
Do it.
All right,
Anchor.
Anchor, this is the boss. These fingertips, this thumb's here. So spin, spin, spin. And just this palm is the boss. It's not allowed to wobble. Speed helps.
The left hand is
Yeah, this one's the boss.
staying still.
Stay still.
Okay.
Like no boop, 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 boop. It's here.
Okay.
All right, this hand is like shaping it. So you can kind of bring it up, bring it back down, bring it up. And then once you're ready to create your opening, again, you just want a little bit of clay. Take this guy here, put this boss right at the top where we're working. This hand can just press down just a little. And feel how it's smooth.
Yeah, it's getting flat.
And then slowly your hand comes off.
Oh,
So
wow.
you really only want to work with a little bit. So you might even take like a finger and get yourself anchored, put your elbows against your body, relax all these guys, just this guy. Yep. And you're anchored. You can even kind of press down.
Oh, right. And then you did like another level.
Yes.
So you could even go.
So then you're only
smaller.
working with this guy.
Right,
And then it's all about this hand is not allowed to boop, 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 boop. It's
Right.
here.
right.
And then they're always connected. And then you just let it rotate, rotate. And then to make the center, this hand supporting it, just a little bit. And then pull it back to make the bottom. Now rotate, rotate. Whenever you're about to take your hands off, you slowly take them off.
Oh, that was.
You're never like here.
Well, you can feel it. I mean, like you can feel like the top part and the hole actually being.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool.
So now it's gonna sit on however much you drag this finger back, that's how wide it's gonna sit on the table. So once you have like a bottom, so it doesn't like, you know, this one's sitting on that wide.
Right. Oh, got you.
If I didn't open it, it would be narrow and then.
Got you.
Alright, so now we get to squeeze this. So now this hand's anchored, that means it's not allowed to wobble.
All right.
Connect your hands. And before you even touch it, get your wheel spinning. Alright, this, like a medium now. Full pace when it's not open, slow down when you are opening. Look, there's big. I forgot, Tin says you can do it by yourself. Okay, here we go.
Are you betting?
Are you betting,
Is
Frank?
somebody putting some money on me? You
Right.
put some money on it, I can line produce everything in here.
So this is the boss. This one's now
Alright.
what this guy was. It's not
This
allowed
is
to
anchored,
wobble.
right.
Yes. This hand's not, so it connects. And then slowly go just a little bit. This hand's the boss, so it squeezes into the inside hand and rotate, rotate, and then slow release. And then you come back to the bottom and you squeeze that thickness. And as that clay moves,
Yeah.
then you move. And then slow. Boom. So you're looking at the interior and
Got
seeing
it.
how much you want. And then if it gets a little uneven, and I'm just going to squeeze this one more time. Get that thickness, squeeze. And as it's thinning out, it gets taller. Get the water out. I'm just reached in with the sponge, let it spin and it smooths it out. Let's cut off that unevenness. We take our needle tool and spin. We can just touch in and...
Is that cheating? That
No,
seemed like it was cheating a little bit, right?
It could have been cheating. It is a way if your pocket's a little off center. And then we can just smooth that out. Alright, so do you want to do one kind of on your own?
I can try again. Let's cut
That's my sump pump.
Alright. So I'm cutting this
Alright,
off
yeah,
at
so
the bottom.
before you cut it, let's take a little tool and kind of press down, or use your finger where it spins.
Right here.
Yeah. So spin, 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 a little water. And then you can start to separate, see where the bottom is, and then on the outside you kind of like press.
Oh, press it in.
And now you kind of know where you can cut underneath. So you hold that really tight like dental floss.
And just right here, is that good?
Yeah, get it spinning slowly and then pull towards you. Perfect. And then you let your hands dry hands on a towel. Guys, here he goes. He's about to do it. And then you're gonna take your hands like prongs and go bloop, and lift it up and over and put them on this.
What was that?
That's just extra clay.
Okay.
Okay, so there's one, and we can put this in here. So we're gonna make as many, and then we can actually use this once y'all move. Rodney's gonna be my neighbor soon.
Well, that looks like, that one's deeper. I need to,
Yes.
I'm not gonna have enough coffee if I
So
don't
we'll
do
go
it.
deeper. All right, now, what we're gonna do too, because we're gonna throw off the hump.
Drink time!
Drink time! Cheers! Rodney, this is why I like having you as a guest. So if you're tuning in, guys.
Free lessons, free alcohol, she fed me. Well, I mean, I
Right.
can't complain at all.
Good night out.
Date night!
Date night!
Best throwing day ever!
Oh my gosh, I love it! Alright, I'm just squeezing you on some fresh clay so you have more of a hump, because throwing off the hump is throwing something little off of a big mound of clay. Alright, so, ready? We're going to get our sponge wet. Rodney's throwing off the hump. He's never thrown before. And we're throwing gibraltar
Now,
glasses.
if I can learn this, anybody can learn this.
What are you thinking about it so far?
I mean, it's fun. It's an activity. It's certainly, you make it look a lot more.
Are
As
you-
with anything, you have to do it a couple times.
Yes, it's a practice.
Right.
Are you wondering why you resisted for so long? You resisted for over a year, to be my guess. You didn't want to do it.
Well, I mean, you gotta, I wanted to see what everybody else, all these other products that everybody else was producing.
And Blair's been bringing home some masterpieces.
She
All right,
has.
so left hand's the boss. Now, with throwing up the hump, we don't have to center this whole mound of clay. We could, though. So if you just want to kind of feel with that, plenty of water. I'll add some more for you. Got it?
Well, I will say, the whole like anchoring thing,
Yes.
I feel like I gotta get comfortable with like this piece, part of it.
Yes.
Like just.
So left hand's the boss. You're going to use this palm. These fingertips are going to come across right there.
Right.
More water is going to make it feel a little better. And then, because this hand's not anchored, latch this thumb over here. Yes. So that's the boss. Palm.
Right.
And then as the clay moves, you move. And as the clay moves, you move. And as the clay moves, you move. And each place, you want to be there like 3 rotations.
Got it. So that's, I
So
had to
like,
get
see that like
feel.
funkiness?
Yeah.
If I just go up, I put a spiral. But if I'm here, 1, 2, 3, and here, 1, 2, 3. Good. Keep your hands
Yeah, so-
connected. More water. Good. Okay, so now take this hand, and this is when you're going to hug that thumb. And this right hand is going to catch that center, and what it's going to do is push it down lower.
The right
So
hand.
this hand's about to karate chop this peak.
Right
Just
hand.
slow the wheel first. This hand comes up here, it's going to karate chop.
Uh-huh.
But because it's not anchored, this hand works together. So kind of grab this thumb. Yeah. And then let me come to that side. It's easier to show you. All right, so this hand's the boss. No wobbles. Spin, spin, spin. Now fast. Yeah. Okay, now this hand's patient. Now as this hand lowers, it drops. This part of your hand drops. So that
Oh,
you're
to
going
get
to create
that-
like an angle.
To get the angle, okay.
Yeah, so we're pushing. Now feel this hand. Feels that like
Like a
funky
hook,
part. You just
right.
press with your palm against that. And then drop this hand into a cone. And more speed. Yeah, and then now start just dropping. Like you're gonna say a prayer or something. Yep, this one's in like prayer, all the way to the back. And feel how this hand's not doing anything but pressing.
Right.
So this hand's gotta drop until this palm is at the bat, yep. Keep
So
going.
much going on. I'm pressing, I'm pulling, I'm trying to think about my next sip. I mean, karate
Love
chop
it,
and
karate
prayer.
chop.
I mean, like,
And rotate, 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 slow release. Boom, have a sip. Have a sip, you did it.
wipe. Can I wipe?
Yep, you have a top right there too. Let me find mine. Here's
Where's the other one?
Here's one.
Let's just exhaust that one.
Oh, Rod, I love you to have your own memory. Oh, look, Allison's there.
Allie!
Why are you so loud? Are we loud? Oh, that's Nikki Hanger. Aiden. Guys, thanks for tuning in. It's a Monday night. It's starting with Molly. Cheers. Rodney's in the house. Rodney.
When do we get to the segment of the people that are around the world? I want to get to that page.
Oh, let's do it. Hello from Tasmania. Look.
Tasmania. Cheers, Tasmania. Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Saoje. Pros. However you say it. Whatever. How do you say it?
How do you say it?
How do you say cheers?
Oh, Blair's giving me kissy. Where are y'all from? We will get the dry erase. I love this portion. Let me wipe some of that off. Where's that messy towel?
Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. Look, we got more clay for you, Tejas. We got plenty of clay for you.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Let's see.
Oh. Go Buckeyes.
Where is
We got some Buckeye fans.
Ohio.
Beantown. Go Celtics.
Beantown. Seattle.
What?
Seattle. What did we say before?
Mexico
Tasmania?
City.
Mexico City.
Salute.
Where is Mexico City?
Queensland, Australia.
Queensland,
Hi, Mike.
Australia.
All right, Mike.
Cheers.
I got some great Australian, but it's a PGG show, so I can't share.
My students watch sometimes.
Colombia, Bogota, Medellin.
Colombia.
Ooh, salud.
Where's Colombia?
Brazil, chin.
Brazil.
Saoje.
New York.
Have a cold skull for me in Brazil. It's not a drinking show. We are actually going to be India. Wow.
India.
Chippewa Falls. Okay, they're representing.
Is that Wisconsin?
Wisconsin. If you're going to say it, you got to say it right.
Right there.
Miami. I will be there in a month.
Miami.
Oh, I love it. Miami.
Trinidad. Brazil.
Saoje.
Miami. All right. Guys, thanks for tuning in.
I love it.
Isn't this fun?
I love it.
All right, so we're throwing off the hump if you just
Richmond's
Richmond,
representing.
Utah.
Go Jazz. Utah Jazz. Missouri. I could do this. I could just do this part all day.
You want to ask a question? You want to drink? What do you want to do?
All right, I'll give a question. Let's see here.
Let's see. We have all your questions that y'all submitted. Oh, look, Florida.
Florida. All right, so here's a question.
Glasses for you.
This is from Couture Creations.
Ooh, hey, Couture Creations. Serbia.
Are you on tonight, Couture Creations?
Are you out there?
We got a question for you. It says, have you ever worked with red clay?
So we're working with a white clay because Rodney's never thrown, and it comes in a red clay, black clays, and porcelains, and I think I've worked with red clay, but I can't remember. So
what's the difference between?
Just the color. I'm sure there's like some chemistry difference.
But it's still like if we were doing it, you would still.
Same thing, same method. Rodney, make your cup. So I'm gonna kind of push down here, make a fake kind of bottom.
Lock it in.
Yes, lock it in. Left hand's the boss. No wiggles allowed. No wiggles. Hands are always connected. Plenty of water. If it ever feels dry, it probably is. And then we can just put. This is why I like to use a bat though, because you kind of squiggle them out of shape as you do this. Look, Rodney's making a cup.
Am I?
Are you comfy?
Yeah. Power went down.
Did it? And remember, because we're only throwing off the hump, the top portion, you don't have to center it at all. You can just work with that top portion if you want.
All right.
Yeah. And it's kind of, this is tricky. This is advanced throwing off the hump. I'm going to scrape away some of this extra at the bottom. And add a little water for you. Yeah. Yeah, hands are connected. This hand's the boss, no wobbles. And we're only going to work with that little top part right there. So I'll get you spin it. I'm going to get you a little bit to work on, and then you just try to open it and make your little cup. So we're just pressing. So this is going to be like the bottom.
Right.
And then we'll just press it down a little flatter. So this hand's the boss, shaping from the top. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Okay. So now you take your little right finger. Okay, I'm kind of here too. This is tricky throwing off the hump because it's like a little bit of clay. Oh look, Jackie Knight wants to tune in live with us, but we can't get you, Jackie.
Jackie, we can't reach you.
Jackie. Okay, so plenty of water.
Jackie, when's the baby due?
Friday. There's gonna be a new baby. Waves. Okay, so we're gonna make the inside, so while it's spinning, it's like a drill press. This right fingertip is just gonna catch the center and press down. But ideally, this hand's supporting the clay from wobbling. So this hand's supporting just up here where you're working, yes. It's not allowed to wobble. Connect your hands together, and then the right, I do the middle finger, like this middle finger, finds that center and just press down. Just be patient. Yep, catch the center. Now patiently press that, just that finger down. Perfect, you're opening the clay.
I'm focusing.
You're focusing.
Not too much, not too much.
He's opening his cup, guys, a gibraltar glass.
Gibraltar.
Perfect, and now slowly come out. Perfect. Now, mine's not even open like yours are. Let me open mine. And then if this is spinning, I can reach in there and get the water out so there's no bottom. It's not going to be able to sit on that little beep.
This is the bottom, right?
Let's see. That's your bottom.
Got it.
So what we have to do now is take our finger, and at the bottom we still have to support it. No wobbles allowed. Hands are connected. This finger is going to find the bottom and pull back, and as it pulls back, it's making the bottom of my glass. And then rotate, rotate, rotate. Slow. Release. Oh look, Annie Cooper!
Annie!
Annie! Somebody from Australia just
We have
tuned
some
in,
Australians
Annie.
online, Annie.
Good job, Brad. Left hand's not allowed to wobble. Hands are connected. And just that little fingertips pulling back. And then rotate. Stop this pressure. Rotate, rotate, slow, release. Good. And while it's spinning, wring out your sponge over here. Get rid of all the water. And while it's spinning, you can reach down in there and suck it up and kind of pull it out and see what's happening
It
on the
looks
bottom.
more like a bowl than a cup.
Okay, and it does. So what we're going to do
It
is...
looks like a sushi. I mean, we're good. It looks like a soy sauce cup.
But look what you can do. So if mine got too wide, you can just get it wet and just use your hands to bring it back in.
Let me try that. So
Yeah.
you wet it.
Get it a little wet. Perfect.
All right.
And then you're the boss. So put your elbows against your body. No wobbling. Just touch it first. Don't squeeze it or anything. Connect your thumbs. And then slowly, where it's wider, so like up here, you can kind of bring that in. Slowly let it rotate. Right there.
Oh yeah, that's more like it.
Now, we're working really tiny. Rodney's throwing up the hump. He's never thrown before. And working tiny is a challenge. He's a natural, Jackie says. He is. Okay, so now slowly take your hands off. Perfect. And this is what we're going to do next. Pull. So the right hand's the boss now, anchored.
Stick it in there.
Stick it in there. These fingers are going to squeeze the thickness, and as you squeeze, it's going to come higher. So it looks like this. Outside hand's the boss. Inside hand's not, so it connects. And then they kind of feel the clay and squeeze. And once it moves, rotate and come up. Rotate. Rotate. And just patient. All my clay is just falling. Good job! And just once you get to the top, rotate, 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 and then slowly come off. And then you start at the bottom again. Good! And at any time while it's spinning, you can soak up that water and see.
There might be a throw-in with Rodney coming up pretty soon. I hate to steal all your guests. It'll be more drinking than throwing, that's for sure.
I love it. There we go. Okay, so as mine's... Well, and I must say, guys, y'all know I love my cheersing and drinking on a Monday night. But I am doing a transformation challenge, so I'm drinking water tonight. I'm not as fun.
There's no transformation for me.
Rodney doesn't need a transformation. He stays transformed. I need my transformation to happen.
I'm certainly much more dirty than you are, that's for sure.
Oh no, you're doing great. So soak up the water from the inside. I'm gonna pull mine one more time because these really do all shrink a lot. And even though Rodney wants these little like espresso cups, Gibraltar.
There you go, Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
T-A-R.
Gibraltar glasses. Uber home, Rodney. Don't worry about Rodney. We'll make sure he's safe and sound. Forget that I wasn't going to try and throw it over now. I can't resist.
Is that Maine?
Go throw. Oh,
I need
Maine.
some glasses.
Yeah, it is.
Lobsters.
Maine.
Invite me up. What is that? Jim and Daz, invite me up for some lobsters. We've been throwing for Molly from Maine. I would love it.
Oh my God, I would love it.
Right there, I can see it now. Right on as the boats are coming in with some
What?
fresh
I've
crackers.
never been to Maine. Have you been?
I've been. Bangor, right? Like Bangor. Where you from in Maine? Bangor, they got great. Lobsters everywhere.
Lobster everywhere.
Right, hold up.
I would love to eat lobster every day.
Now hold up. Am I pressing in?
All right, so first spin it and get that water out. Yeah. Reach in. We'll kind of see what's happening.
Yeah.
All right, do you like the look of that one?
I'd buy that. That looks perfect.
I love it. I think it looks great. So now spin it. And you're going to hold this guy like a pencil. Get a good grip. This one's gonna hold on too, just so you're really secure. So hold it comfortably so you can like move it around. All right, and then as it's spinning, we always work at 3 o'clock. So 12, 1, 2, 3. And you're right-handed, right? I didn't even ask. Okay, let me do it. We're gonna kind of like touch and then patiently push it down. Like rotate, now we can push. Rotate, and now we can push. And now that we know we've kind of cleared the bottom, we can take the wire like dental floss. So really tight, just wide enough. And then as it's spinning, your thumbs are the guide. You want your thumbs to grace along that bottom that you cut. So good. And your thumbs, again, are going to follow. Yep. And just pull towards you. Perfect. Oh, got it.
Great save, great save. Get back over here, little buddy. You're not leaving this party yet. Stay in.
And then, this is the beautiful part about a wet pot. You can just take your sponge and just kind of smooth it right back out. No big deal. And now it looks even more handmade. So Rod, boom. Let's keep making them. Cheers.
Cheers to your water and your transformation into 2019.
2019. How's everybody's resolutions going?
All right.
Portland. Lobster and oysters on me. We're coming. Don't invite us twice.
Send your DM us your address.
Rodney's serious.
I'll be up there.
We'll bring the family. All right, I have some questions. One of them was for Rodney.
Uh-oh.
This is from mudslinging_pottery. Thanks for all your questions. So Rodney, is it anything like you thought it would be?
It's actually harder than I thought it would be. But I mean, you can see the product right there. It's pretty fun. I mean, but you can feel it. You can feel how you're manipulating. I'm actually pretty surprised with like how much control like you actually have over it. I think after like another time or two, I mean, I really had it down, but
yes,
it's easy. It's not as difficult as I thought.
No.
I was a bit intimidated by that initially, but yeah, it's fun.
Is that part of the resist? You're intimidated?
It is part of it. I mean, as with anything, if you don't know
right.
how to do it, it's just exposure, but it's fun.
It is. I tell people all the time, it's like riding a bike. At first you fall off and eat it because you don't know, and then you see other people and it looks so fast. Oh, look, mudslinging. They heard it either. Who asked the question?
And I think that
thanks for the question, mudslinging.
I think for somebody like me, I need more of a one-on-one type of, like if there were 20 other people in the room.
Yes.
One-on-one. I think I'd kind of screw it up a little bit. I think
one-on-one is like the fastest way to learn, I think.
Yeah,
like I think people who talk about like getting into classes and stuff, I think it's worth it to invest more at the beginning to get that one-on-one because then it really is just a practice.
Well, I mean, I think it's with anything. Like James, my son started basketball this week and he's got like a small class, and I think you want to learn the fundamentals and the basics first before you get into.
Yes.
Because there were a lot of questions around like starting the business, I think, and I mean.
For me?
Yeah, for you. I mean, I just kind of feel like, or would you prefer? And this is my own question. Would you prefer like?
Love a question.
Would you prefer like a larger group, or do you prefer like the one-on-one interaction?
That's a great question. I think you see the most improvement the quickest one-on-one for sure. And you also have less to manage with smaller numbers of people. But if you have people who know what they're doing, I can kind of tap in and kind of tune in with them. So see this little crater that we're getting?
Yeah.
That's just because you didn't have a cone. Yours was like flat on the top. And you want it to be a point. So we'll just catch the top and spin, spin, spin fast. This palm's not allowed to wobble. Now this hand's going to drop into that diagonal to get that point back. There you go. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Slow release. So as long as that's a point,
you're good.
You won't have an issue. And then Rod, hang on, stop this for a second because this one over here gets a screw loose and you hear it ticking on you. So if I tighten that, sometimes it does a little better. Guys, thanks for tuning in. I think we've got more questions too. Put my hands. All right, we'll see if that tighten that up.
Thanks for killing it. I mean, I'm trying my best to kill it.
He is. He's doing an awesome job. So I'm going to cut this one off. Now, Rodney, I think you'll do one more off the hump, and then we'll just use the clay that's left and just try a real one. Because really, Rodney doesn't realize how hard it is to throw off the hump. Who out there has ever tried throwing off the hump? It's more challenging than throwing just a handful. To work with that little bit, it's a challenge. And Rodney is
So when you say the hump, what is this?
The hump means that we have this hump of clay,
that
and we're throwing off of it.
And we just
We're throwing just the top
What's the other way that you do it?
See, he doesn't even know because he's never thrown. So I'm going to use my dry hands here and lift this off onto that. This is, normally when you throw, you put it on the wheel or the bat, just what you're going to make. So like this much clay, I would center the whole thing. And I've got to get that cone, so right now I have a little crater.
Right.
So I've got to press this back down before I make a crater. Get that cone, drop it all the way. Water, I still have a little crater. So before I come up, I'm going to catch that again. Get my point. And you should, when you reach the bat, you should see the color of the bat. Meaning that if I'm like that, when I angle this all the way down, 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 I should be at the bat so that it makes that green circle because I'm there.
Got it.
So throwing off the hump means I'm only working with a little bit, but when you throw like a base, you just use the whole piece of clay.
Got it.
So throwing the whole piece of clay is a little easier. Throwing just a little piece of the whole thing is challenging.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Well done. Oh, Nancy. Nancy and I took a class in Colorado last summer together.
Indonesia studying. Hello from Indonesia.
Indonesia! He should get the feel of a large lump of clay before tackling a smaller one. Oh, thanks, Mom, who refuses to come in.
I thought Sally was going to say I needed some glasses because it's like, what does that say?
We
What
could
does
probably
that
all
say?
use glasses. I could probably use them too. So I'm coning up and down until mine feels good. Or do you just want to try doing that one as one thing, or do you want to do one more off the hump? And look, if you squeeze too hard, you can rip it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's trying to get, like,
your bearings.
like I'm working the pedal,
Yes.
I'm locking in,
Yes.
I'm locking
Yes.
in.
So I teach high schoolers, and last semester I had a high school group that it was the third class I'd done, and I always give them a demo. They watch me, I talk them through it. They all look like they're about to fall asleep. And one class was like, Miss Sanier, can we just get on the wheel? Like, can we just do it? Do we have to watch you? Can we just get on the wheel? And I thought to myself, this is going to be crazy. But, all right, fine. Just get on the wheel. I didn't teach them anything. You had bats flying. You had, because the wheel's going fast, they put the bucket of water on the wheel and it spun off. I mean, it's a lot to catch on to. But then once you catch on, it's like.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I mean, but I'm getting it.
Good. Okay, so now, get to the top. Keep it spinning. But once you bring this palm to the top, just get there and rotate, 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 and slow release. So once you come up,
Well, mine,
then you don't go down like this again. But look, from your point, what you're going to do is this palm is going to catch that weird top. Like, put the palm. This palm is yes.
right there, like
yes.
this? Okay.
The water's going to help. So this palm is basically supporting it. As this wants to wobble through, this is centered. It's not wobbling. So that one wobble hits your anchored self and smooths itself out. And then this hand is going to push it back down. So this hand's not allowed to wobble. More speed. No wobble. See how it's like bump, 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 bump?
Yeah.
Let me come to that side and help you.
It's like hard to keep it.
Because even I have to anchor my left hand to help you. So the left hand's the boss. This hand's connected, and then more speed. And then also we have like this weird part down here. Okay, so put this hand all the way on the back.
Oh,
Squeeze
yeah.
that in, yeah. More water, hands are connected. So this palm is pushing, and now this hand can drop to that angle. Let me get more water. And this hand's only job is to stay firm and steady. This hand's job is to like drop now, bring that all the way to the back. Yes, all the way.
Whoa.
And if you need to bring it to the side, that's fine. But the idea is that this is pointier. So you kind of point it down, rotate, 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 and now slowly come off.
Yeah, see, you just got the feel for it.
Yeah,
I love
just
how you
like
got
the
feel for it.
balance.
Right.
It's just a balance. So now let's come down one more time. So this hand starts here, catching that center. This hand's here. And then as this hand reaches the bat, this one drops into the cone. Good. Perfect.
There you go.
Yes, all the way to the bat. Perfect. And then once you get there, rotate, 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 slow release. And that little wobble happened because instead of rotate, 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 slow release, we went rotate, rotate, fast release.
Got it.
Okay, cone up. So palm is at the very bottom, right down here. This palm's at the very bottom. These fingers at the very bottom. And then latch this thumb over here. Yeah? So this hand relaxes a little bit. This palm comes up with the clay. Yeah? And then we relax, get to the top, and rotate, rotate, rotate.
Oh, wow.
Slow release.
Yeah.
Now you come down.
That feels good.
Good.
Alright.
Good job, Rob.
Alright. I got
So,
a great teacher. I got a great teacher.
Yay! So throwing off the hump is what we just did. It is way harder than just trying to manage the whole piece. But if you're trying to do a lot of a little, it's a good way to go. Good shape, Rodney.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
I'm gonna have to say your celebrating technique. I hope this helps me with some of my issues with evenness. Okay, unevenness can come, from not being centered. Oh, look, I'm at a school, ceramic school in Indonesia.
I think there were 2 folks now from Indonesia.
Indonesia, usually there's a lot from Argentina. Okay, so like this is what happens if you don't rotate, slow release, which could also reflect unevenness. If I just come up really fast.
Right.
But if I'm here, rotate.
But even when you stop it, it's kind of like uneven and wobbly.
Yes. And even if I'm really smooth, everything's really smooth. See, everything's smooth. If I come up and I just go fast release, it's wobbly.
Right.
So as long as you get there, rotate, it feels smooth, I can feel it, and then slowly.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised with, I shouldn't be, like with how much you can actually manipulate. Like it feels,
Yes.
You can control it, you can feel it.
Yes. And then when you're pulling the wall, if you go up too fast, it gets uneven. But this, have you seen, we've done some blindfold throwing, and it's because you really don't have to see it, you're feeling.
Right, you don't need to see it. Yeah, you don't need to see it.
We got all the bird box references, because it was, perfect timing. But it's a really good exercise for clay.
So
you should be coning down now, because yours is really tall. So your boss is going to support at the top, because that's where we're going to start. This hand's going to catch the center. It's hugging. They're working as one.
Right. And
Okay,
push it
good.
down.
Yes, and speed will help you, and just be patient. Don't push too fast. And you're still just going flat on the top until this hand kind of reaches the green bat. So good. Perfect. Look, Rodney's like centered. You're rotating. You're being patient. The water's helping.
But how much
You're doing perfect. You keep going. You're doing just right. You're being patient. It's basically when this hand feels the bat under it, it stays right where it is, and then this hand can drop. But right now, just keep doing.
Need water. It's dry. It's dry.
Water.
There we go.
Look
Save
at
me.
him. He's doing so good.
Watch out, y'all. I'm coming for you.
Look. Perfect.
Ceramic shows. Here I go. I didn't know this was one of my resolutions.
Stay connected. You're almost there. So when the left hand feels the bat, get yourself re-anchored once it feels that bat, and then let the right hand just shape it into a cone. Okay, so let that left hand get down. Yep, let that left hand reach the bat.
There we go.
There we go. Now get yourself anchored.
I'm anchored.
And just let this hand drop into make that cone. Do it slowly and patiently. Left hand's not cutting under. Left hand's at that cone shape. I'm just going to support your pressure over here.
Oh, you brought real pressure.
Yeah. And that hand's just shaping. Good. And then ease up this pinky. Yes. And then rotate. I'm going to take mine off, and then you take yours.
See, I think so one of the key differences, I wasn't, like, you really.
Yes. Yes.
I'm playing with the clay. Like, you're a little bit more
You're
assertive
letting
in
the clay be the boss.
Right.
But
That's
you're
a
the
perfect
boss.
way.
Yes, you're the boss. And see these little ridges? Like, you're so centered. Centered means, like, this is not centered, because see how it's like ba-bump, ba-bump, ba-bump.
Right.
Yours, there's no ba-bump, ba-bump. You have different shapes, but all that is just the grip of your fingers. And if you don't want those, you can just focus more on palm instead of fingers. So palm instead of squeezing. And to get mine out, I just anchor and let that clay go between my anchored. And see, I've opened. So let's go ahead and open yours. So now, before we open it, we got to get rid of the point. So all you're going to do is take your left hand, keep it just how it is. This hand, instead of dropping to a cone, is going to catch that top and create the flat top.
Like we were doing.
Yes. No point, just flat top. So feel the pressure. This one needs to be the boss. Well, good question. Let me see. Perfect. Be patient. And you're creating a flat top. And your side is looking perfect. Your boss hand is there. Perfect.
How much further
And
down?
then you can, and then you can kind of bring this hand towards you to kind of close up this little seam. And just let it, perfect.
Oh, look
Now
at
just let it
that.
rotate.
Look at that.
Look at that, let it rotate, and when you feel no bumps, so there's a little bump,
Slide
so
back
hold,
to the middle. Oh.
yeah, hold right where you are.
Right.
Let it rotate until you don't feel any wobbles. So make sure this hand's strong, strong. Not fingers, palm.
Be strong. Be
Palm,
strong.
yeah, palm.
Well, it's actually on my finger. I need to, yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
That palm. More palm here, less pinky. There we go. Good. Now see, rotate, rotate, slow, release. Perfect! Perfect!
Okay. I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Perfect. Somebody asked, Reddy, what inspired you to get started with pottery?
Well, I mean, if you knew how many like mugs we have, just one example of what we have around the house. Molly's been such a great artist that shared a lot of her work. I mean, we have pieces hanging in my house, in my home. So I mean, and Molly's just, you know, she's obviously a part of my life, my sister-in-law. So we, you know, we see her work, we support her shows. I watch this every Monday when I'm at home
Every
after I put the kids down. So it was. I was due to come up here.
You were due.
Yeah, I was due. But if you've never thrown before, and seriously, this is my first time. It really is fun. It is enjoyable.
Is it? It's fun to like.
It's harder than, but I mean,
something.
it's harder than you make it look so easy.
But what I love about art, because in high school I was the athlete, you were an athlete.
Right.
Being an athlete, it's like that fun competition, like winning, where it's like fun when you make a good pot. But in athleticism, you reach a peak when you are no longer the fastest or strongest. But as an artist,
Right.
you just continue to grow and grow. Like you will only get better the more you work and practice and play.
But I think it's like with anything, if you have the exposure, you got to have the
Yes,
exposure
yes.
to like
Yes,
learn. It's all
yes.
about exposure. It's trying
Yes.
something different.
When did you ever play with clay? Like my first memory is in elementary school.
No, the first time I played with clay was when we were here doing the
Stop it.
doing the dinosaur. I mean,
Stop
who has clay? No, I don't
it.
have clay. Play-Doh. Play-Doh's about the closest I came to clay.
Did you play with Play-Doh ever? Do you have a memory?
I don't have any memories of it.
No, oh my
But we had Play-Doh.
And
I
look
don't.
at how much fun he's having now, guys. His whole life has been.
Well, I mean, I'm getting dirty. She fed
Yes,
me. We
it's
got.
fun.
We're having good drinking.
Yay.
Water for everybody.
Blair's at home with the kids.
Yeah, I got a free night out. You know, this is perfect. We can do this every night.
That's what Blair
Oh, do this every night. Will y'all support?
Guys, we're gonna have to have a poll question. Who do you want to see more, Blair or Rodney? Oh my gosh, I love it.
Rodney, Rodney.
I love it.
We're taking
Oh
this
my
show on the
God.
road.
We-
Maine, here we come.
Yes.
Indonesia,
Lobster
we're
roll.
coming.
We should.
Brazil, we'll be there. Rio de Janeiro, we're coming. Taking this show on the road.
All right, you're gonna make an opening. We're not gonna make a little cup. I just want you to have fun and experience a throwing of not off the hump, because Rodney's throwing little things off the hump, and let's give you an experience. So you've coned up, you centered. Now the left hand's gonna hold it still, no wobbles. Left hand's the boss, it's anchored. The palm is sort of in, not undercutting.
Right.
Palm, yes. Okay, the right hand's always connected, and then as it's spinning, just the right fingertip is gonna press down, down, down.
In the center, right?
In the center. So speed. Oh, let's tighten up loose that thing again. Stop it for a second. I gotta figure out like the right tool to like tighten this forever. We gotta take turns. I'm gonna miss my Mondays with Molly. I love it. All right, so brace yourself again. Left hand's the boss. Right hand's connected. It's a little wonky, but all right. Middle finger's gonna find the center and just drill down patiently but firmly. Left hand's not allowing any bumps. Left hand's the wall. It's the boss of the clay. And this one's just kind of drilling down. And Rodney does have kind of a loose bat. So not only has he never thrown before, but I've given him a wheel. It's a little sorry. Okay, once you think you're low enough, like you don't have just enough clay at the bottom, drag just your fingertip back towards you. You're like scraping the bottom to make like a Hershey Kiss flat bottom and then relaxed opening. Perfect.
Like that, yeah.
Left hand's the boss.
Yeah.
Left hand's just sturdy. It's not cutting under. It's kind of almost like this is leaning in and that's leaning out. Yes. So kind of a yes. Okay, and slow release. Slow release.
Oh, oh, oh.
Okay, we'll just push it in just a little. Slow the wheel. Oh, okay. I just took
Okay,
it off.
we got a
Okay.
halo. We got a clay halo.
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 All right, well, you try with mine. You try finishing mine because it is fun to pull the clay. Tighten this up. Schmidge. Okay.
When you go live, there's difficulties.
There are a little sometimes, you know. Okay, so mine, I've already centered. I've coned up and coned down, centered, and I opened, and then I dragged my fingers back.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you have a little bottom, and if you spin it just a little, get that water out. So see the bottom, it's like flat.
Right.
Now you're ready to pull, which means you're gonna get the height of your cylinder. So this hand's now the boss. If you go too fast, it wants to fly out and be a bowl. So now that it's open, we slow the wheel a little bit. A little water. Now, it's gonna look like this. Right hand's the boss. Fingertips start on the bat. You should see what color your bat is. And then the inside hand's gonna find right up next to the fingers.
What?
Yeah, thumbs always connect so you're together. And these two fingers are gonna squeeze at the thickness at the bottom patiently. And once you feel it move, then the fingertips come up a little bit. Slow the wheel, slow your foot, yeah. And now be patient. Now relax that hand a little bit. But just patiently, the inside hand's following with it. Perfect! You just released your pressure on the inside, you slowed the wheel. And now you really relax the pressure, but you keep going, rotate, and then move, rotate, and then move. Now rotate, 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 slow, release.
Oh,
Perfect!
wow. Nice.
Rodney, you did a really good job because you were squeezing really aggressively at the bottom, which a lot of beginners don't do, and then they don't move anything.
Well,
But
when you
then-
grabbed it the first time, like, you really, like, I'm over here
Yes,
playing with it,
yes,
but you're like,
yes.
like,
But what you almost did that you didn't was you almost ripped the clay off, like you almost like squeezed really
Like
hard
through?
under it, but
right,
then you relaxed the pressure because
right.
when you squeeze hard, you move
I got a
it.
great teacher.
You felt the clay.
Right,
you
right,
felt
right.
the clay. You're natural. So do it again. You start at the bottom, and you basically pull until the top to the bottom is even thickness. You've reached the height that you want. So connect your thumbs. Slow the wheel a little bit and come back right here. Start with the green circle. Yep. And your pace, if you go too fast, it will fly out of control. So be controlled. Perfect. Hands are connected. Yes, and now just patient. You rotate before you come up. Rotate and then come up. Rotate. Always let it rotate.
Love it.
Perfect! And just remember at the very top, rotate, rotate, rotate. Sometimes I put clay in between my loose bat and the wheel and get it sick. Yes, that's a really good idea. Can't try. Perfect!
Well, I mean, it takes a little bit of concentration.
Yes.
I'm surprised with, like,
Yes.
you got to kind of know what, I don't have the feel, the touch
Right.
yet. Like, I
Yes.
don't have the,
What is it, your first time?
but I mean, you know,
It's
you
his
want
first time.
to, it's that touch, that
Yes,
feel.
it's the feel.
Because you can feel it when it starts to wobble in
Yes,
in
and
your
you can
hands
feel
a
if
little
it's
bit.
thin or if it's thick.
Right,
And
right.
so like looking at it, this flaring out clay tells me that down here is thick. So here I could squeeze harder, but then I see the shift right there. So it goes like
Right.
thicker, thicker, and then it shifts. So here you'd relax a little bit more. And a rule of thumb when you're throwing a cylinder is that if I just were to make this a cylinder, this could be like your little gibraltar cup. But the rule of thumb with the cylinder is at the bottom third, you squeeze the hardest. When you reach the middle, you pull like 75%. And then when you get to the top, you're really not squeezing, you're just finishing.
Got it.
So start at the bottom, make sure you see that green, your anchor, this hand's not bump, this hand's the boss.
It's just
And then
anchored.
this hand's connecting. Now at some point, you can do 2 fingers or get like more pressure than just that middle finger. Like you might get that finger in there too. Don't go too fast with the wheel speed. He's doing good. He's doing really good, guys. Rodney's never thrown. He's doing his first cylinder pull.
I mean, there's so much.
Hands
It's the
are
foot. There's
Yeah.
my foot. I'm trying to get the
You don't want
control.
to get too fast, and you want to keep these hands connected.
Ah,
Yes.
that ain't connect.
Gives you that stability. And then rotate, rotate, rotate. Slow release.
How do you?
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Now, see how it's getting a little wide right there? It's like kind of coming boop and then in. Take wet, get your hands wet, both of them. And you know how before we used our little fingers because we're off the hump, use like you're almost gonna wring its neck out, get under the Y part, and your
bring it
hands
up.
just slow. Your hands are gonna kind of come together, but not dramatically. You're just trying to even it up. Yes, and just patiently slow the wheel a little bit. Slow the wheel. Yeah, perfect. And then as your hands come together, it necks in. So you can shape it. And then another tool is you can really slow your wheel, like a medium speed, like a little faster. Like there, perfect. Not too fast. This boss hand can hold this rib. See that straight edge? If you're going for a straight cylinder, you can put this here. And see how it's not really touching right there? So just this inside finger. Put the thumb on the rib, put this thumb on the green rib. Yep. And just this little finger can glide up to just transfer that pressure. So it reaches. And then it can slowly come up, and then they can slowly come up together. And then rotate, rotate, rotate. So this is like shaping and stuff.
Right. Got it. Nice.
So different tools.
Nice.
Different tools.
Alright.
And usually after you do the rib, you don't want to pull it again, but this is thinner and that's thicker, so if you want it, you could squeeze that thickness one more time and get a little more height.
Got it. How about the question?
Okay, let's do a question.
From Cuban Girl 68,
Ooh.
how do you put moisture back into a piece that is too dry after
my
it
gosh.
needs trimming?
Okay, well, Rodney can confirm this. I have 3 pots over there from the last throwing with Molly with Blair that I didn't wrap them well enough, or I thought I was going to come back and I couldn't, and they were bone dry. So what you should do if your pot is bone dry is recycle it. But you're attached to it. You don't want to recycle it. So you could take a damp blue cloth. That's what we do at school. It's like a reusable paper napkin. You get them at Lowe's. They're blue. What are those things called? It's like a reusable paper towel. You could use a paper towel too.
Right. Like not a wet wipe, but I mean.
It's like a wet wipe.
Right.
But like you just fill it with water, bring out all the extra water, wrap it over your pot, and then wrap it in plastic. Maybe spray it a little bit and wrap it in plastic. You have to give it like a day or two to slowly get the moisture back in, and then cross your fingers because it should have a crack if it went from bone dry to wet. So if it survives, you're lucky. I'm trying to though.
So here's one. Pottery by Brenda Lee.
Pottery by Brenda Lee. Thanks for the question.
I'm making little pouring vessels, so I mean, it sounds like something similar to what I'm trying to do, and wondering if you have tips to get the perfect, but it actually cut off. So I'm wondering if that's like
The
perfect
pour
yeah.
maybe. The perfect pour. So I actually am new at creating pieces with pouring spouts, kind of like that one I made the other week. I didn't show you. You could be, while it's spinning, just reach that in and then wring out your extra water into your bucket and see what's happening at the bottom. But the perfect pour, I feel like you take your cup or your mug, and while it's wet, you support the outside, and then one finger works kind of between the two, so you're kind of holding and then pushing, and it kind of creates this little spout. This one's a little funky because it's not a real. And then I do think it's nice to like take your finger this way as well to kind of make it.
Oh yeah.
And then you can take that time and like smooth it back out. But
Can you get, oh, and that's just a little lip
so
right
you
there.
support that and pull.
Right.
Kind of work that too. You just have to
Well,
like
now
kind of finesse it.
Now, well,
And this we could
how do
push
you
back.
keep this piece from like folding?
Once
That's
it
perfect. That looks
dries.
like a perfect little like, that looks like a perfect little maple like
A little
syrup.
pour. A little pour. Can you even see it?
Brenda Lee, I mean, there you go right there, girl. There you go right there. I mean.
I love it. And then if you had a handle, you could like score and slip it and have like a little pouring thing.
Maple pancakes, chocolate chip, there we go.
You're inspiring brunch. So, but it is about making the spout while it's really wet, and then you don't touch it, and then when it's like leather hard, you can kind of work with it and smooth it out a little bit more. But do it right when it's wet. Get a nice shape that you like. Good question.
Hillary
2-minute mark.
Hillary said, I thought those were shot glasses. They are. A Gibraltar glass is just a little larger than it. It's like a 4.5 ounce espresso. It holds 2 ounces of espresso and like an ounce or 2 of milk. It's perfect for a cortado. If you're trying to cut back on your coffee consumption, less calories, same espresso, amount of espresso, less milk. You got it. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You don't have to do the extra 10 or 15 minutes on the treadmill because you can cut back on your milk consumption.
You're a cortado. So you're doing a good job. Keep getting that water out of there.
Oh.
Because if you leave water at the bottom, you will come back to a crack. Are you happy with the amount of cortado glasses we made? Do you think one of them will suit your needs?
That one looks really good.
Okay.
Those two.
Those two. So they're a little bigger, and they are going to shrink a lot. So, thanks, Molly and Rodney. I'll be making maple syrup jugs. Oh, good, Brenda Lee. I hope that helps.
If you're close by, we'll come over. have brunch. We'll drive. We'll travel.
Oh my gosh, I love that Rodney's setting us up with some dates across the world. I think we had one in Indonesia, didn't we? Keep the invites coming. I'll have to get you Rodney's email and we can set up these events. I love it. When are you going to have Big and Little Frank on Throwing with Molly? We were talking, I'd like to get Blair and Rodney. I'd like to get some groups, but I haven't done 2 people yet.
Yeah, we talked about that. Couples. We talked about. You got Valentine's Day coming up. You can do like a couple special.
That would be fun. Ooh, all month long. Couples.
Yeah, couples.
What are you drinking? Both Pottery wants to know.
Well, it's a G-rated show, but just know it comes from Kentucky. You know, it comes from Kentucky.
I'm drinking water because I'm on my cleanse. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. See y'all next Monday for Throwing with Molly. Rodney, thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you for
So
having
fun.
me. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.